is one of them, is because kids get really stressed out over commutes, and those are traveling by bus or by bike. They can be scared of getting late or not on time for the bus, car, bike, or anything like that, because it can be stressful for students. So for online school, you can just wake up and go on your computer, not worrying about being late or on time.
I'm weird, okay. And like also building
No. Only one can do open arguments. You can go next time.
Alright.
All right, guys, ready?
Yeah. So the reason we think that online schooling is bad is because it causes a lot of stress. Another thing is like mental health. Like it hurts mental health kind of. Also there's a lot of like people that can go on their phones because the teachers can't make them turn their like camera on. So they can just go on their phone or like play video games on their phone and do anything like because the camera's on.
Okay, very good. Now, Payton, you may go.
Alright, so although that is true, that's why self-direction is good, which is like there's a lot of time flexibility with online school, so students can choose when and where like to work on their schoolwork. They can work at their own pace, and like that is true. There is like a lot of stress with it, but for example, like if you miss a lesson or something, most of the time like teachers will just like they'll have a video or like post something on like Google Classroom, whatever, and you can go back and you can always look, and that's why it's so great because you can work at your own pace. You don't have to worry about like even if you can work at your own pace and you can choose when and where to work on stuff. So it's not like you're being forced into like deadlines and being somewhere on a certain time.
Okay, very good. Now we're moving into the other side. So since Nathan talked first, Owen, you have to talk this time. Go ahead.
Online school isn't that good because some people can't focus better online and they focus better in the classroom because you can ask questions better and they can pay attention better because they say it out loud and they write it down.
Good. All right, so now we're going to this part of the debate where you guys can go back and forth one at a time, okay? So since Owen spoke last, we'll start with the ladies.
They still talk online. You don't have to be in person to talk online to talk. You can still ask questions while you're online. You can get a private meeting. You can schedule a time on your computer and meet with them. At any time, you just gotta email them instead of having to be at school, and some people don't like to interact with other people, so it's better to be online so you don't have to be face to face, and that makes some students more comfortable with them. You don't have to be in person to talk. You can be in person to talk to somebody, but it might be easier for you to talk online because you're not there face to face with them.
But maybe sometimes people can't pay attention because they have stuff going on at home or they need to go do something. And, yeah.
That's not necessarily true. You can get a room in your house where there's nobody, or you can go somewhere where it's not distracting, shut a door, or
You could work something out with the school, and I'm sure that schools would be more than happy to send you worksheets or just videos explaining. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily like go to a lesson.
Yes, but like you said first about how the kids like they can go into a meeting and stuff. Yeah, but at the same time, when you're at school, you can ask for a private, like, talk to him outside the classroom or talk to her outside the classroom. But another thing is, they're like, if someone's in a math lesson and they have a question, they can't, like, they can just ask, where in school they can just ask. Where at home, it's like, well, I don't want to ask because then like I don't want to ask while I'm at home and not with people.
That's why, like, you can always add private comments on Google Classroom assignments, or you can always email your teacher, and they'll usually get back to you within a day or two.
Right, but that's within a day or two. Like it could be like if you're at school, it could be like right there instead of 2 days.
But what you're saying is, like, online, like, they don't want to ask in front of everyone, but in school, you're still asking in front of everyone in the classroom. But
It's not always easy to ask somebody in person. Sometimes it's easier just to email them instead of talking to them face to face.
But you can wait till class is over to ask them the question.
Yeah, but
You
it's
could do
still
that
harder.
yeah.
It's still, for some students, it's harder to actually go up to a teacher and talk to that teacher instead of just emailing them without having to talk to them face to face.
you can always wait until the meet is over as well. Ask them something.
If usually the teacher leaves.
Not usually. Not always.
Most of the time they leave.
You can ask them to stay afterwards. You can ask
Okay,
them,
that's
just like you would do in
Asking
class.
everybody else.
You can leave a private comment.
All right, very good. That was a nice back and forth. All right, closing statements. Let's start with the guys. Or did you go last with the counter? Did you begin the counters, or did you?
We did, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, guys, start closing arguments.
I think online school is bad because not all people can focus and it's harder to learn stuff.
Am I able to add on to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Also, like usually when we're online, like in a math lesson, like usually he just has the answers like written down. It could just be a teacher thing, but at the same time it could just like it's not easier to learn it because they like give you the answers basically on the lessons instead of where you try and do them and then if you don't get them like right away, he can help you with the answers.
Okay, very good. Other side,
All right.
closing arguments.
So they did make a lot of good
Can I have your
points.
attention, please,
Keep
for the
going.
morning announcement.
So they made a lot of good points, but everything
Early
like
dismissal today, girls
that they
basketball.
listed, there's a lot of good
6:30.
solutions for all of the points that they
Well, the weather
said.
outside may be frightful, but GMMS is delightful.
So like
There are
there are a lot of
winter
good
coats
solutions
for
to a lot of the
free.
cons that they've
After period
listed.
4 today, just go to the cap to see.
And
There may be a
I
color
think that
style
online school
sign
can
you'd
be a
like
much
or
better
need.
alternative
Feel
than
free to
like
take
coming
the
to school in the
winter wear
pandemic.
coats to
And
help keep you toasty and warm. Thank you.
All right, very good. Let's give this group a round of applause. Nice to meet you.
Yep.
I